Hi guys, welcome back to RUE MORGUE TV. I am RUE MORGUE Executive Editor Andrea Subasati, and we'll get to your episode in a second. I just wanted to remind you of RUE MORGUE's Spotify playlists that we put together. These are playlists of spooky tunes that we've got organized by. We've got one for vampires, we've got one for monsters, one for serial killers, the RUE MORGUE Manor mixtape that I listen to here while I'm putting together your favorite magazine. Those are all available for free on Spotify, and I'll link them in the description below. Enjoy this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to RUE MORGUE TV, and we'll catch you next time.
Welcome to another episode of Terror Tarot on RUE MORGUE TV. My name's Laura HOKSTAD, and I am an intern here at RUE MORGUE magazine and also a tarot card reader. And on this show, we like to look at the use of tarot cards in horror films. But today we're doing things a little bit different. We are going to be looking at the use of tarot cards in the Nintendo game titled Taboo: The Sixth Sense. And to help me talk about this, I have brought along Evan Miller.
Hey, I'm Evan. I'm the games editor at RUE MORGUE. I'm also a host of Playdead here on RUE MORGUE TV. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I had never actually heard of Taboo before, and I try to know as many old Nintendo or in general video games as I possibly can. So it was a pleasant surprise to be shown this, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I kind of came across this game kind of by accident when looking online for tarot-related things. And when I started looking into it a bit more, I was really excited to bring you on so that we could talk about it, because the game is very, very different than regular Nintendo games.
It is. Like, I had never heard of it, and I try to pride myself on knowing a lot of this stuff. It's interesting. It's like a curiosity that, especially with a console this old, like I haven't, it's unique. I haven't really seen anything like it. So you found something about it being like cursed, and then also I think it's one of the only Nintendo games to feature nudity.
Yeah, there are some boobs and butts.
It's notable.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Thanks guys for getting that out there back in the day.
Some weird things that I found out about it is it's one of the only games that has like a warning about you have to be over the age of 14 to play it. Mm-hmm. So some interesting things that I found out about this game is that there is this kind of urban legend surrounding this game. Yep. That apparently it predicted the death of one of the children who played it, and another child played it and then apparently ran away and joined a cult and was never seen from again. There are some very foreboding warnings within the instruction manual of this game, so there could be more to it. It says use Taboo at your own risk. It also says do not be so foolish as to dismiss the answers completely. The truth may haunt you forever. So that sounds pretty spooky and foreboding.
It's good. I like it. They're literally washing their hands of any kind of responsibility. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the name Taboo as well.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting too, because really tarot cards and kind of like all of those divination tools are really looked at as quite taboo, and especially back when the game came out, it was like the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. 89. Mm-hmm. And it was also marketed as like an adults only game, like an adults only party game.
It's very neat that something like this came out for the Nintendo. However, it's very bare bones. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of gameplay going on. If you want to call it a game, you can, but it's more like almost like edutainment software. They are gamifying it with these like horror elements and the red skull.
Mm-hmm. So tarot is divided into two sections, a major arcana and a minor arcana. Minor arcana are designed like a playing card deck. So you've got 4 suits, ace to king. And in this game, when those cards come up, they don't really have unique imagery. What they will show is, so one of the suits is swords. So if you pull a sword card in the game, you just see a sword and the number on top.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Whereas if you look at tarot, the 3 of swords is 3 swords puncturing a heart, and you can really get a lot of imagery or information from that imagery. Mm-hmm. But I found in the game, that all of the major arcana imagery is really lost because they are limited to creating these complicated artworks in 8-bit.
Yeah.
So today I'm kind of excited because we're going to get to play through this supposedly cursed Nintendo game. Just for convenience sake today, we do have an emulator to play it on Evan's phone. But again, with all of these kind of old games, it's always kind of so much more fun to play it on the real system.
Let's do it. Let's take a crack at Taboo.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go.
All that has been and all that will be is here for you to know. Dare you glimpse the future? Dare you even ask? And it's interesting, it calls it a time machine.
Yeah, what's that about?
I don't know. It's nothing really maybe
Future.
it's seeing to the future, so you're a time machine going to the future through this. I like the detail of the quilled hand kind of like swirling around as it's writing.
Yeah. Your question, what would you like to ask?
What should our question be? So, when I'm doing tarot readings for other people, I kind of ask them to phrase the question in a way that's like open-ended. So you don't want to be like, when am I going to die? Especially in this game when it apparently already predicted the death of someone.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess with that.
No.
So an open-ended question would be like, what can I expect?
Keep in mind, I have to type this in.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Should we do when will I die? Is it too scary?
Should we just do death, question mark?
Oh, I'm in.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Death?
Oh my God.
Will it come for me or won't it? Oh, I can't spell. Rub. Ah. Instead of erase it says rub.
Oh.
Oh no. Death.
So yeah, this whole part here is kind of the act of writing your question and everything kind of is the part that takes the longest, really.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. So we're seeing all the cards are being shuffled.
You almost think it's a Celtic cross,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not.
Yeah, we were talking
I don't
about
know
that.
what it is.
Also for me, just seeing the third card in being a little bit askew to the other ones, that really bugs me.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It's like, straighten it out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come on.
so the Significator card is justice. Your present position is able to avoid temptation or evil.
And that's kind of what you were saying with just the image of like the scales there.
Yes.
It's not a card per se, it's just what they represent kind of.
That's right. And yeah, typically the justice card doesn't, there is an element of like fairness and balance. So it's interesting that they chose to use a scale for that one. So that's pretty cool if they're going to boil it down to 8 bits. That works.
Is this a thing though, like a significator card? Is that like these categorized?
In a Celtic cross, yes, and they're called different, different terms. But yes, significator kind of works for that. But your present position is able to avoid temptation or evil isn't necessarily what the justice card represents. So already we're seeing it kind of like leaning towards this like evil and like spooky kind of way. And in tarot, no card is necessarily bad or evil. So it's interesting that that's what they chose to describe it as. What's our next card?
Crossing card. The 5 of coins. Your immediate influence is a time of worry and stress. Yeah.
Yeah. If we're asking when we're going to die.
It's a pandemic.
Oh, true.
Come on. Anyway.
But this one, so in traditional tarot, the 4 suits are cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. But in this game, they're representing pentacles as coins. And so this is what I was talking about when it comes to the minor arcana. You've just got it kind of bare bones. We see a coin and the number 5 above it. And once again, this is kind of leaning towards a very negative reading of this card. It's like this worry and stress. So far, not so good for us.
To be fair, though, we did just write death. So.
We did. And I am a bit worried and stressed about that.
Yeah. So let's see what next is in store.
Okay.
Crowning card. The Hierophant, which is my card.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
The teacher.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's a cool card to have.
Mm-hmm.
Your near-term goal or destiny is or is influenced. I'm sorry? That's, oh, we should also mention,
Yeah.
for being I believe it was developed in the UK, you know, you'd assume these developers would have a mastery of their own tongue, their own language.
Or
Yeah,
just, spell checked it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird sentences so what does it say?
It says your near-term goal or destiny is or is influence. So it's not wrong.
Is or is.
Anyway, they need an editor. By a kind or forgiving nature.
Okay, well...
Well, that's not necessarily negative.
It isn't, finally, one card's not negative, but...
You got the imagery of the Hierophant coming up from what looks like a puddle of goo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, too.
Right? And
I don't know what that's about.
he kind of looks like this, gnome or something. In tarot, the Hierophant is more... It can stand for... kind of like a discipline, like religion or school or something, like an institution. And then in this, it's just a very muddled, strange sentence that I really...
It's just a garden gnome.
Yeah, okay, garden gnome and goo.
Let's see where this is going.
All right. Okay, base of the matter, the Page of Cups. So present events are based on help and assistance towards a specific goal. So that's very vague. The Page of Cups, usually the pages represent a younger person, like a young woman or a young man, kind of like starting out on not a journey, but like on a path for learning. And so when I see this as like present events are based on help and assistance towards a specific goal.
Well, that goal is death.
Yes, in our case it is.
So that could mean maybe it's interpreting that we want someone to die.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So when I think about this card and the description of it, it's not accurate.
That's a no.
That is a no.
That one's bad.
All right, so the next card is Past Influences, the Six of Coins. Recent past events are giving of time to those less fortunate.
I feel like this game would be incredible inebriated.
Yeah.
I feel inebriated. It's,
It is marketed as an adult party game.
Yeah, that's true. Pertaining to death, like what even recent past events are giving of time to those less fortunate. The person dying.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Forthcoming influences card, the Ten of Swords. The near forthcoming influence is pain or sadness.
That is accurate to our question.
Yeah, leaving this mortal coil. Sad, a lot of regrets, possibly. It's amazing how much I'm putting into this over what it's outputting.
Yeah, right? Like it's only giving us this one sentence, but you're able to kind of like dive into it and be like, this really represents our question in a big way.
It's a game that plays you.
Oh.
Now, what's up with that moon? That's got a kind of evil face.
It has a skull in it.
Yeah. Or are we just seeing that?
Maybe
because of interpreting that because we asked.
Because of our question.
Right. That's okay.
Okay.
Where one finds oneself card, the moon. You, in a proper perspective, have/are selfishness, craftiness, or disgrace.
That sentence doesn't make any sense.
Almost looks like it has an accent over disgrace. Disgrace.
Well, so again, this card does not represent what the moon card is in traditional tarot. The moon card represents kind of like, our dream state or our anxieties or kind of like the darker side of our mind and the things that we think about. So
does it have anything to do with transformation, the moon, since it goes through a cycle or anything like that?
Oh, I think that's a really cool interpretation of it. The tarot cards have their traditional meaning, but then also when we're thinking about the imagery on the card and what that represents, I think that's a really cool way to look at it.
Interesting.
But craftiness or disgrace.
Disgrace. We learned a word. Views of others card, the Ace of Coins. Viewed by others, you are the symbol of great wealth and riches. Okay.
Okay, I
I don't
mean,
know what this has to do with what we asked.
it has nothing to do with what we asked, but the pentacles in tarot, that suit kind of tends to represent earth energy or things that we can kind of touch and feel, so material things. So the fact that this is referencing wealth and riches is kind of true to what that suit's energy is all about. So they get like a 5 out of 10.
Well, if I die,
You're...
people who know me are gonna miss my rich personality.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, this seems serious.
This is the final card.
Yeah. Is it, or is it the second last? Okay. Maybe it's
Well, oh, maybe it's not, but it's the death card.
Death/change. Your inner emotions sense, or will shortly sense, the loss of a friendship, financial security, or other comfort.
Comfort of living.
Comfort of breathing.
So, the death card. I really like the imagery on this one because look at that cute little skeleton guy.
It almost looks, I mean, you can see the plane there is always green. It never changes. It almost looks like he's cutting the line with the scythe.
It does.
He's just kind of doing his chores, mowing the lawn on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. He's super cute.
He's very cute. I like that sprite a lot. That's a good sprite.
I do like that this card, the definition of it says death/change, because a lot of times I've seen people kind of misinterpret the death card in thinking that it's, legitimately meaning your death. But it often has to do with like a change, a big change in your life, like the death of the old you kind of giving way for the birth of the new you. So I do like that they make that distinction between death and change. Was that our last card?
There's one more.
Okay, well, I can't believe we asked about death and we got the death card. Oh my God.
You want to read it?
Final outcome. The 5 of Swords. The accumulation of the events revealed before will be malicious but weak person. What?
Okay, I still don't get it.
The culmination of the events revealed before, so all of the cards we've seen up until now, will be malicious.
But weak person. So somebody with ill intent, either but mentally or physically not very powerful.
Will kill us?
Perhaps. Okay.
So this is a weird part about the game. So you're kind of come to the end now, the reading's over, and then it gives you these fortune numbers. And this is like a big part of the marketing of the game, because if you look at the front of the box, it says your lucky numbers revealed. Like that's the big selling part that they're trying to kind of push with this game.
Well, the lottery, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So maybe we should screenshot this and go get a lottery ticket.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's interesting because I put my birthday and it says 12 and it says 21 at the bottom there. So that just seems lazy.
It does. Okay.
And we're back to the main screen.
And that's it. That's the whole
game.
Yeah. So, final thoughts on Taboo, The Sixth Sense?
I like it. More as a curiosity, though. I think more of just like, wow, this thing came out and it goes for it, and it really, it doesn't necessarily do a disservice to tarot.
No, not
anything.
overly.
I mean, it's trying, and it's trying. I just think the darker side. I mean, it's right there in with the name Taboo, but maybe that could have been dialed. I know it's odd for someone at RUE MORGUE to be saying this, but maybe it could have been dialed a little down. For Taboo 2.
Right. The much anticipated.
The tabooing or whatever. So get tabooing. What did you think of it?
I agree. I feel like it's a cool concept, and I liked typing in the question and like seeing the different cards come up. But I think that tarot cards are very like they all have very complicated meanings and a lot of deep interpretations. And to boil that down to an 8-bit image and one sentence that's kind of in weird.
Yeah, get an editor.
Yeah.
Please.
So it's hard to kind of capture all that in like one small sentence.
So would you give it a thumbs up?
I think overall I would, just because it is, I love gaming and then I love tarot, so it did combine two things that I love. So even though the meanings weren't that accurate, the English was weird, and
It's the thought that counts.
yeah, right, it's the thought that counts. So yeah, Evan, thank you so much for joining me today and like talking about this game. Can you just let everyone know kind of where they can find you? And
yeah, you can find me right here on this channel, RUE MORGUE TV. Playdead is my show. You can also, check me out in the magazine in the Playdead section. You can also find me on Twitter at Evan J. Miller. Very creative, but that's me.
great, thank
you
you.
for having me.
No problem.
If you find another cursed tarot game, I'm your guy.
Perfect. So yeah, this is another episode of Tarot, and if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe to RUE MORGUE TV. Please join us next time, and we'll see what's in the cards. You win. The views expressed here do not reflect those of RUE MORGUE.
There's Evan's